Hey, you Korean people, get out of my country.
Chinese.
I don't care, okay? So you just get out of here and you go, do whatever you communists do. Commies, just get out of here. You yellow skin can't even drive. You know how many car accidents happen because of you guys? And you just you hack into people's phones. That's not cool, man. It's not cool. So get out of our country. Kim Jong-un, yeah, he wants you there. He wants you to do all those things. Do not do it to the American people. We are Americans. You guys aren't communists.
We always hear about situations such as this one in the media, and some of us may have even experienced or instigated something like this ourselves without even realizing we are hurting others. Not only is this behavior demeaning, in extreme cases, it can lead to the mass persecution of a particular group of people, like what happened in the Holocaust. However, discrimination towards others is not limited to race. There are many other characteristics of people that are often judged and used to discriminate against them. This type of behavior intrigued us, and we decided to research why people act in this way. The question we sought to answer was, why do people hurt those who are different from themselves? Most people hurt others in order to form a perceived higher air of superiority for themselves. To elaborate on this topic is Dr. Darlene Sweetland.
I think there's different levels of hurting others as well. So I think part of it is there's bigger hate and bigger hurt like racism and sexism or homophobia or those kind of things. And a lot of those are based on morals that people believe they have or ethics that they have. And they believe that they are right and that there is something evil about the people who are different than them. And then there's other levels like just kids in high school who may pick on someone who's different than them. And that sometimes just has to do with somebody trying to figure out where they fit in the social world and posturing and just feeling comfortable with things that are different from themselves. That has been debated for years and years and years over psychology and social psychology, and a lot of it has to do with the social psychology idea of status, that there's this idea that, say there's a bully at school, you say, well, get rid of the bully and bullying goes away. And that doesn't really happen. Social psychology shows that somebody else steps up into that role. And so it's really difficult for somebody not to step up into a leadership role. And when someone's in a leadership role who has differing opinions than others, then it causes dissatisfaction and people needing to posture within that social status to try and figure out where they fit. And so that's a really difficult one, because you need to have a leader and not everyone's going to believe look at the presidential election, right? Not everybody's going to believe in what the leader believes, and that then causes distension underneath and all those levels below. I think it's natural for people to compare themselves to others. I think people are observant and it's just natural. And I think that's one way that people figure out where they fit, and they learn about whether what they're doing is right or if they're happy about it. I mean, people judge in good ways too. People find things that they respect out of others, and they're judged in those ways as well. And so I think it's a very natural thing for people to use that as a way to compare themselves to others. And if they see something that makes them feel a little bit uncomfortable, very often people will jump to the conclusion that it must be something negative or bad. I think that very often people are sensitive to feeling uncomfortable around differences, that when they get in their comfort zone and they're around people who are the same, that when they see things that are different, it makes them uncomfortable. And sometimes their reaction is to act out on that or to hurt those people. Sometimes it is something as simple as, somebody's different than me, and so I'm going to treat them negatively or treat them poorly. And sometimes it's as strongly as something that might be an ethical or a moral issue that can play into racism or being sexism or being somebody's sexual orientation or whatever else it might be that is discriminatory. The most important thing is to celebrate differences. And through culturally, if it can be shared that differences are a good thing and to celebrate differences. And I think culturally we have made huge improvements in that area. Definitely not where we need to be because it's still there, but that is going to be the most important thing. Everybody's different, and if you can celebrate those differences and see those differences as a very positive thing and learning from others because of their differences, then that gives it a much more positive bent and can help from kids from when they're very young growing up to learn that differences are good.
We hang around with people that have the same interests, background, culture, and language. As Dr. Sweetland said, we are quick to judge those who are different from us and blame others for our problems in order to establish a feeling of superiority over others. Can humanity put their differences aside and end the age-old problem of discrimination? Most likely not. But with society becoming more accepting than in the past, the outlook is greater than ever.